Seen a great conversation take place on Twitter, and it's about who's going to consume Jura's thorn soul bulb when he ultimately gets defeated by Kawaki and Boruto. Not in this arc, but whatever arc when they finally face off against Jura. If you've been following this channel, I speculated that Kawaki is going to be the one to consume the thorn soul bulb and ultimately getting the knowledge that Jura has consumed, which will lead him down to the path of officially accepting that the shinobi world has to end, and that will cause Kawaki to walk down that path and become the character that we saw in chapter 1. I also speculated there's a possibility that Akabi is going to be Shibai's partner, and she's going to have some influence on Kawaki to destroy the shinobi world. So it can go either way. But I completely forgot about one antagonist, kind of like how we forgot about Kabuto during the Naruto series, and that character is Code. Code's whole goal is to consume a chakra fruit, and the only way to get a chakra fruit is to cultivate it by sacrificing a Otsutsuki clan member. The only clan members that we have in the shinobi world right now is Boruto and Kawaki, and since we know they fight at the end of the series, there's no way Kawaki or Boruto is going to be sacrificed to create God Tree to consume the life force on planet Earth and produce a chakra fruit for Code to consume. So we know Code becoming a god eating the chakra fruit is a major component to his character, but since we know Kawaki or Boruto is going to die in the future of this series, we know he's never going to reach that goal unless they find a way to substitute the chakra fruit for something else. That will be Jura's thorn soul bulb. The reason why I believe Jura's thorn soul bulb is going to be more like a chakra fruit than an actual thorn soul is because Jura is the incarnation of the Ten Tails tree. That means Jura is more of a Ten Tails. He was produced from the Ten Tails. He isn't like Hidari, Masuri, and Momoshi that were created from being clones of the essence of their victim's chakra. Jura is more of the Ten Tails. That means his thorn soul bulb is going to be more like a chakra fruit that's going to be worth consuming. Just like any regular old chakra fruit, the person who consumes it is going to get an upgrade to their data, a power up, but also they're going to withdraw all the data within that chakra fruit, all the knowledge, all the information. And that's why I was leaning more towards Kawaki consuming it, but let's play around with Code consuming Jura's thorn soul bulb. There's a lot to be considered here, especially on how do we get to the point where Code realizes if he consumes Jura's thorn soul bulb, he will get an upgrade. I'd like to remind you guys, a major component to Code's story arc and character arc is that he's always getting betrayed because everybody seems to look down on him or he's some type of loser. Amato, Eida, Damon, the list can go on. Just think of Code as that bitter side jump that never gets chosen. They're always second place, and that's Code's story arc. Ishiki wanted Kawaki because Kawaki was able to hold the karma seal. Code couldn't. And all of that has created built up resentment in Code's character, to the point even when he was defeated by Damon, Code made a vow to take vengeance on every single person that betrayed him and also prove himself to be strong to gain the love of Eida. Yes, Code's love, undeniable love for Eida, even if it's because of omnipotence, it's very important on why it's possible of him consuming the thorn soul bulb. Code is going to gain knowledge about the thorn soul bulbs after he gets into a fight with Kashin Koji and defeats Kashin Koji in the next couple of chapters. Like I said, from a narrative standpoint, we're moving away from Kashin Koji controlling the story. That's why the future changed. Let's not forget Boruto getting the Jogan and being able to use Momoshiki's abilities. You know, future sight. Ikumoto confirmed Momoshiki has his own future sight, so there's no arguing that Boruto will have to add an ability. Kashin Koji is on a timer. It only makes sense to have Code be the one to finally defeat somebody that helped defeat his god, his glorious king, Ishiki. Once Kashin Koji is defeated, hurt, injured, Code is going to also protect Eida from the God Tree clone. See, when Eida was first found out by Bug's God Tree clone, she was in fear for her life, and the only person that she wanted to care, which was Kawaki, didn't care. A lot of you guys are going to think, why would Eida need Damon to protect her against the God Tree clones and the Claw Grimes? And I need you guys to go back and watch my video that I made about Damon possibly turning into a God Tree clone, because there I explain that the God Tree clones and the Claw Grimes don't attack with killing intent. It's just instinct. Comparing a bear that is killing to eat to survive the winter, and a human killing somebody they didn't like. One has murderous intent, the other's just following the law of nature. And if you consider the God Tree clones to be newborn animals that don't really know any better, they're not going to have murderous intent. The only one I think that can possibly have murderous intent will be Jura. He's the brains of the operation. But for a character like Momoshi, Bug's God Tree clone, he's not going to have that killing intent to defeat Damon. This will be the first time somebody will be able to pierce Damon's unbeatable shield, that shield of reflection. Damon's being overwhelmed by the Claw Grimes and Momoshi, the Bug God Tree clone. Eida is going to be left unprotected, and the only person that can possibly protect Eida, that can possibly spawn out of nowhere, like Boruto using the Flying Thunder God, is Code. Now, if Code focuses on his love for Eida and he comes out of nowhere and protects Eida, that means he's eventually going to join the good guys team. He's going to make a deal kind of just like Kawaki made with Boruto. Is this important? Because Code will see what happens when somebody gets awakened with the Thorn Soul Bulb. He has to be on the good guy side or creeping around enough to understand what happens when somebody's revived with the Thorn Soul Bulb. Think about it. There's no doubt in my mind when Sasuke and Moegi are revived, they're going to have some sort of power up because of the power and strength and knowledge of their alter ego, which is the God Tree clones, the people that were buried in the subconscious of their mind, intertwined back with their original soul. So if Sasuke returns with a new arm and Rinnegan, and Moegi comes back way stronger than she ever was, and Bug is also stronger than what he was, this will spark a light bulb in Code's empty head. He's going to realize Jura doesn't have a clone. Jura is the Ten Tails, so his Thorn Soul Bulb will have the power to give him an upgrade, a power up, a much needed power up to fight against Kawaki for the final time. Yes, Kawaki and Code are going to have their final fight once he gets an upgrade from the Thorn Soul Bulb, and Kawaki is just going to kill Code. I'm not 100% sure what will happen to Code if he dies after eating the Thorn Soul Bulb. Will he leave his own Thorn Soul Bulb and Kawaki consume that one? I'm not sure. I just know for a fact they're gonna have their final battle. You're scratching your head thinking, how's it possible that Code will help Boruto and Kawaki, the good guys, to fight against Jura? I'm here to tell you this was foreshadowed since the beginning of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex in chapter 4, where Boruto was desperately asking Code to help, and Code just laughed at him and said, I'ma stay out of this. That's because Code didn't know the magnitude of the God Tree clones awakening like Boruto and Kashikoji did. Now that Code understands how powerful they are and how he got embarrassed by Jura and he stated he's gonna have the last laugh, Code is going to work with Kawaki, Boruto, because of Eida, to help defeat Jura, and in that very moment after the defeat of Jura, he's going to consume the Thorn Soul Bulb and become the next big bad. He'll officially step into the role of the villain because, let's talk about it, Code couldn't beat a base Boruto. There's no way he's going to defeat a newly awakened Kawaki with no limiters, with a bunch of new upgrades, and Boruto that can use V1 and V2. He's just not going to be on their level. So the only way to make Code an actual threat is by giving him a power up. Not gonna lie, I would love to see Sarada get her licks in because Code's the reason why her dad is in the tree to begin with. But ultimately, Kawaki is going to be the one to defeat Code. I have to remind you guys, we have a couple villains in the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex series. It is Kawaki, Jura, Code, and Akabe. Each of these villains are going to have their day to shine. Kawaki is going to have his when he finally faces off against Boruto and his turn to the dark side. Akabe is going to have her shine when she's officially awakened. Code still needs his shine. I honestly refuse that Ikimoto and Kishimoto are just going to let Code's character to go to waste, especially how he was hyped up in Boruto New Generations. He was hyped up to be the next big bad, stated to be above Jigen, the ultimate threat, and he's coming with a vengeance to defeat and kill anyone who had a hand in Ishiki's death. And saying that he was going to achieve the goal of godhood, which means eating a chakra fruit, was a pointless goal to give his character because we all know he's not going to kill Kawaki or Boruto. So we need a new way to make Code relevant in the series. But that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'm out.